Hi, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm Jim Kerr.
Welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. Well, Jim, we've got like 27 minutes to get this done, so let's try to do it in 15 or less. And let's start off with the labor situation in the NHL. Both sides have put a proposal forward, finally, the NHLPA taking forever. Gary Bettman says there's still a wide gap, no kidding, and people are starting to think this lockout is for real. I'm one of those people. Really, though, what's the big issue?
It sounds like the owners want the players to take another 20-some% rollback, which you'll remember they did in the last negotiations because they were bringing in the salary cap, and it kind of made sense to do it to kind of get everything on a somewhat of a level playing field. Because pre-salary cap, things were a bit out of hand money-wise, and that, fair enough. But now they want another one. Bettman wasn't happy with the players' proposal. It included a smaller percentage of league revenues going to the players, as well as expanded revenue sharing. It sounded good on the when they first presented it. Then you started to hear other stuff like there's clauses in it, like as far as the player share of the revenue after 3 years, if something, then something else. Like it's not just straight up like so. I think the NHL might have been a little upset about that, but it sounds like we're in for the long haul here, sadly.
Yeah, it absolutely does sound like that. I don't know about the NHLPA's. Their proposal was kind of weird, and it wasn't a counter proposal to the NHL's. It was a whole new proposal, which I thought was kind of interesting and something they probably should have put forward 30 days ago. But I really don't see that we're anywhere near bridging the gap at this point. And actually, you've got an interesting theory, Jim, why we're headed down the road to the lockout.
This came to me the other day. I was just sitting around, blank-minded, looking around like I usually do, and because there's not much going on up here. No. Sometimes it's just nothing.
Sometimes just blank.
A breeze.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
One ear, the other ear. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
But there was an actual thought in my head the other day. It was
good.
crazy. Yeah. So here's my theory.
Okay.
Gary Bettman knows that hockey isn't about to overtake any other major North American pro sport.
No.
Basketball, baseball, football, nowhere close. It's not going to happen. He also knows that no sport beneath hockey on the hierarchy of North American sports will surpass it.
No, it's not
arena football, MLS,
golf.
Those all have their fan bases, and most of for example, most people that watch golf or play golf, play hockey and love hockey, and the entire league golfs. Some teams earlier than others every spring, right? But there's no sport that's competing with hockey for their spot on the hierarchy.
No. And
there's no way hockey's going to surpass anyone else. So who cares if there's a lockout?
That's right.
We'll be back. You might be mad about this, and you might be upset at what's going on with the labor situation. But what else are you going to watch? You've been watching the NHL for your whole life.
That's exactly right.
You're not going to just ignore it, right?
No.
And then the fringe fans, they come and go anyways. They'll probably get caught up in the hype ahead of a new season when it finally does come back. They'll be back, and pretty much everything will be exactly the same.
I agree.
That's scary. That's exactly what's happening. It's crazy.
You're right. The owners have no problem with going into a lockout at all. You're right. I'm going to be back. You're going to be back. It's gonna happen. And I agree completely with you. It's absolutely unbelievable. You mentioned something previously though that last time when we talked about the rollback and that kind of thing, it kind of looked good because you're right. The salary, or there was no salary cap, but the salaries were completely out of whack. New York Rangers are a perfect example, right? Doubling the salary of some other teams, right? And that had to happen. But this time, with the owners crying foul and saying, "Oh my God, we're in trouble," I just don't believe it. They've grown 7% in revenue each year, and I just don't see it, Jim. And so I agree with you. I don't think they have any problem. They're greedy, but they don't mind. They'll come back.
Yeah.
And it's all good. It's no big deal.
Revenue's up like $1 billion.
Well, that's exactly it. Like it's.
And we're still talking about we need to got to do capped contracts, and they got to be a. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're back. The rollback made sense when they first did it. I couldn't believe that the players accepted it. To be honest with you, I thought, wow, like 24%, I believe it was.
That was a lot.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
But in order to bring in a salary cap, that has to happen, right? Like you gotta sort of get everyone. First of all, you gotta get teams to have payrolls that are within your salary cap, so that
New York Rangers.
Yeah. But now there's no reason for it.
No, absolutely.
If the owners were serious about it, stop signing players this summer.
Oh, that's an absolute perfect point, and you're exactly right. And
if things are so crazy,
right? And if we're worried about the teams on the bottom, if we're worried about the Phoenixes and the, I'm about to say something that I wouldn't have said before the last one because the Oilers were in that boat at the time. But if we're worried about the Phoenixes and the Floridas and the teams like that, contraction, man.
Yeah.
We could use 4 less teams, especially in places where the fans don't actually want them. That's
contraction or movement.
Or movement.
Ship off to a city that wants it.
Spec City, absolutely.
Spec City. There's a couple. There's a couple in the States. Seattle, I think, has been looking for a while.
Kansas City, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a ton. If it's not working somewhere, just do it. Yeah. Absolutely. Just swallow your pride, because that's what this is all about.
Oh, that's totally what this is about. You named it exactly right.
So it's dumb, and I think a lot of the fans, like, if this happens every 6 years for the rest of my life, there's gonna come a point where I'm not buying tickets. I'm not putting money towards. I'm not buying merchandise. Because they take the fans for granted.
Absolutely, and I'm mad about it, and you're mad about it, like really mad about it, and that's the thing. No matter who wins, the fans don't. The fans lose.
Yeah.
There's no way, so they don't think about the fans, and well, why should they? They're not the ones making millions of dollars.
Why should they? We'll be back.
Yeah, just like we talked about.
That's it. We'll be back, so who cares?
Exactly.
It's dumb.
Well, on to football now, where the Edmonton Eskimos got absolutely smoked by the Owls on Friday night. Jim, seriously though, they've been doing so well. What happened?
Yeah, they just came out flat. The defense has been so good, but they came out flat. They gave up a touchdown right away. Almost seemed in awe of Anthony Calvillo sometimes, and it's hard not to be the guy who just picks apart defenses, and he's almost 40, but he's still putting up games like he just did there. It's outstanding, but you got to put that aside for when you're lining up in front of them. The Alouettes honestly looked like a team that had really done their homework. They put up 38 points on the league's top defense in their barn.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
I had a chance, Jim, to win 5 lower bowl tickets to that game, and 5 beautiful tickets valued over like $250. I could have got it for $50. I said no. I'm happy I did now at this point.
Yeah.
I was real close.
Would have been it was a nice night out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Would have been nice just to be.
But maybe seeing your smiling face in the lower bowl there would have changed things. It's tough
guys,
to say.
Jeff's here. Better play.
Yeah.
Better play.
Yeah. I heard you're not allowed to sit in front of where the cheerleaders perform because they're dropping people.
It's distracting. It's true. It's true.
It's a hard life.
That's right.
But somebody's got to live it, man.
That's right. Well, this week the Esks have the Argos in Toronto, and there's an interesting storyline going on here because it's going to be a homecoming of sorts for Stephen Giles of sorts, and the Eskimos' newest addition, Corey Boyd.
Yeah, and it sounds like Boyd's going to actually play a bigger role this time around. You can't in football. It's funny. You get a new player, and he's got to ease himself into the playbook and everything. It's not like other sports. So he only had a couple of carries and I think 1 catch on Friday. So this time around, another an additional week with the playbook and with practicing with the team, and he's going to want to have a big game against the team that just dumped him out of the blue a week ago. So hopefully that happens.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be absolutely amazing, and we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch. This whole Corey Boyd thing the rest of the season is absolutely going to be an interesting storyline, which I'm happy about. Finally, just some baseball news. What do you make of this whole situation surrounding Stephen Strasburg and the NL East leading Washington Nationals, Jim?
Well, it's a strange one, and there's been a lot of debate back and forth about it. He's 14-5, coming off Tommy John surgery, and because of that, the team wants to limit his innings regardless of what happens. Now, they're leading their division, and he has 14 wins. But they say after, I think it's 180 innings or something like that, no matter what happens, shutting him down. Tommy John, the guy whose the surgery is named after, said that that's ridiculous. He threw every single day after getting the surgery that is now named after him. Yeah. I don't know what it was called back then.
Just surgery.
Elbow surgery.
Elbow surgery. Yeah, exactly.
Now it's Tommy John surgery. But he said he threw every day after coming back, and limiting your innings isn't the way to do it. But
Well,
and now there's other people saying that maybe it's just a big smoke screen.
That's
and
right.
So I don't know what purpose that would serve, but
so there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories going on this, and maybe they're gonna because it's not likely the Nationals are gonna not be in the playoffs. I mean, more than likely, they're 9 games up on the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. More than likely, they're going to get in the playoffs, and maybe this is a smokescreen, like they say. You know, they're going to rest him, or just, you know, other teams are going to think, oh, he's not going to be there, and then boom, there he is in the playoffs, right? Pitching, 250 strikes a game.
Yeah,
that's how many are in baseball each game. I remember correctly. So
take your word for it.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, yeah, exactly. If I do my math correctly, I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening.
It's a weird situation, though.
Completely weird. Absolutely.
Very weird. Can you imagine if the Oilers were like, "Hey, we're going to play Taylor Hall for 60 games. We don't want him to get hurt again, so
so that's it.
Just
60 games.
At game 60, it's like, all right, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
See you in the spring.
Yeah, hit the showers.
Yeah. It's weird.
Well, folks, we're going to move on to the GABBYs now. These are good and bad by you. Let's give a good this week to Seattle Mariners pitcher Felix Hernandez, who pitched a perfect game on Wednesday, and it's just 1-0. It was fantastic. Win over the Tampa Bay Rays. He finished with 12 strikeouts for the 3rd perfect game of the season and the 23rd all-time. 3rd of the season, though, Jim. Looks like this might be another year of the pitcher.
Yeah, that's been the thing for the last couple of years now, hey?
That's right, absolutely.
I wonder what the record is for perfect games in a season. Just
I don't know.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that baseball has that stat somewhere because, let's be honest.
We can tell if they were in, closed over stadiums or they were open air stadiums.
Yeah. Oh, but the Hernandez perfect game was at night inside.
Ooh,
so.
Wow.
Asterisk. Yeah. So we try to draw one right there.
Nice. I like that.
Let's give a good to the Blue Jays, who had Charlie Sheen throw out the first pitch before a recent game. What was awesome about it is that he was wearing a number 99 jersey, reprising his role as Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn, and he threw a wild pitch.
I'm happy that Charlie
just a bit outside.
Just a little bit outside. Nice. Well played. Well played.
Yeah, that's classic.
I was, happy to see it. Would have been better if, even at a Blue Jays game, if he had been wearing, the old Tomahawk jersey. I would have been all right with that. But
and the glasses.
Yeah, the big glasses. And just for the bit, he shaves in the back of his, the mullet in. That'd been great. So a good to former Expo Gary Carter, who had a term that he coined enter the dictionary this week. This is a term Jim Kerr has used quite often.
Yeah, a variation of it. A variation of it.
Variation of it, that's right. According to Merriam-Webster, the term F-bomb first popped up in 1988 in a quote by Carter about giving up swearing. That is an F-bomb beauty, buddy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like
F-bomb. I always wondered where that came from.
Now you know. 15 minutes of fame, educating and entertaining.
The more you know. On the bad side, Jeff, it's been a rough stretch for Chad Johnson. He reportedly got into a fight with his wife at dinner last week, allegedly headbutted her. He was cut from the Dolphins, and now his wife's filed for divorce. So hopefully he's okay. That's a lot to happen to a guy in a span of a couple of days. But I think he's lost endorsements as well. Well, yeah. Hopefully they're both okay and moving on with their stuff.
Let's give a bad to the Boston Red Sox. It's just one controversy after another over there. There are reports that several players met with the owner and president of the team last month to complain about Bobby Valentine's handling of the club. The manager says he's surprised to hear that. I mean, there's lots of denials. We saw this in basketball last year.
Yeah.
Who knows? That team is absolutely in shambles. And in fact, this week, Valentine says, yeah, you know what? I've been doing a bad job as a GM. So I don't know. What a mess over there.
The only thing that could get worse is if Dwight Howard somehow ended up playing for them, then demanded a trade, then didn't, then did, then didn't, then did, then got traded.
That's exactly right.
While eating a hot dog and drinking a beer in the clubhouse.
You'd have to.
Oh, I just coughed.
There you go.
I don't know where that came from.
That's okay.
That's because I'm so excited about this final bad.
Okay, good.
To the Dallas Pee-wee Football League that banned a kid from playing because the limit for 7th graders is 135 pounds.
Wow.
This kid is like 6'1", 300 pounds.
Man.
I feel bad for the kid, but at the same time, I wouldn't want my kid going up against him, nor would I like to go up against him.
Yeah, Jim,
if grown-ups in the league are scared to like be tackled by this kid, he's probably too big.
That's right. Jim, you're about half the size of this kid right now. Yeah, it'd be tough to see you going up against this kid. Could you imagine going up on the line against him?
Yeah, but I'm fast. I would
yeah, you are
quick,
that fast. There's
quick
no way
head
this
fake.
guy touches you. That being said, though, could you imagine keeping a kid out of basketball because he's too tall?
Yeah,
You know?
sorry.
Like, yeah.
Sorry, you're 7'9". The limit for 7th graders is 5'6". I don't know.
The whole thing about football is I don't know. I don't know where I fall down on this. This specific. Well, I would fall down if he hit me. But, I feel that I'm on the kid's side on this one.
I feel bad for him, but again, I wouldn't want my kid going up against a 300-pound kid.
No, I agree.
He would absolutely destroy.
Ruin
Though, if I was the coach, I'd make him the running back.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be the slowest running back ever,
Yeah.
but
But he'd have the most touchdowns in the league.
That's right. Well, the punchline this week, folks, is Melky Cabrera, the latest pro baseball player to get banned for performance-enhancing drugs, Jim.
Yeah, this is quite a story.
I like this.
I heard about it earlier this week, you know, the 50-game ban and blah, blah, blah. But it turns out that, you know, the players got a chance to appeal, right? And I think that before the news even comes out. And Ryan Braun, the Milwaukee Brewers, had a successful appeal before the season because he said the test wasn't handled properly, whatever. He actually got off of his 50-game ban. But Cabrera, maybe he should have talked to Braun and brainstormed this one out a little better. What he did was he apparently tried to beat the charge by having a member of his entourage make a fake. Yeah, I know, me too. Make a fake website with an ad for a product on it somewhere, just kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
This topical cream that contained testosterone, and he didn't know about it. So he put it on, and did I? Oh no! But I think like within minutes, the story started to unravel a little bit. Oh, where's this product sold? Where's the website run out of?
Brutal.
That's kind of smart, but I mean,
I know a lot of guys who will do. I mean, that's a lot of money that they're talking about, 50-game suspension. You know, so a lot of guys will do a lot of things for money. But man, that's crazy.
The article I read said that they spent like $10,000 on a website.
Oh wow!
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
But it's not there's free hosting out there. You know, like I don't know.
That's right.
That's a strange story, but that didn't work for him. And of course, now that they've dug into this a little bit, he might be in even more trouble.
I would suspect so.
Because, should have just taken the 50, bro.
Should have just taken the 50. Come back, maybe be a little bit off the juice. That might help. Anyways, folks, that's our 15 Minutes of Fame up for this week. Join us again next week when we get a whole new 15 Minutes of Fame. In the meantime, I'm Jeffrey Driscoll.
And I'm kind of hungover. I'm Jim Kerr. That's what I mean. That's the one.
That's the one. That's it.
Yeah.